For generations, people have been fascinated by the historical Egyptian pyramids. These ancient masonry buildings, which dot the Egyptian landscape, provide tangible evidence that the ancient Egyptian civilization was far more developed than historians and archaeologists previously believed. Regarding the origins of these pyramids, there have been numerous suppositions and beliefs in the past. Some people think outside the box, but some are straightforward with a logical approach, as evidenced by the fact that labor built the pyramids, which were created by some highly skilled architects. Some have even suggested that these pyramids, especially the ones in Giza, were built by extraterrestrial aliens. Believe it or not, the highly well-known tech billionaire Elon Musk is among those who subscribe to the alien notion. At least 118 Egyptian pyramids have reportedly been discovered so far, according to authorities. Around 80 of these were constructed inside the Kingdom of Kush, which is now a part of contemporary Sudan. The ones found in modern-day Egypt were primarily constructed during the Old and Middle Kingdom eras as tombs for the pharaohs and their consorts. The Giza pyramid complex contains the most fascinating and well-known pyramids in the world, while the oldest known pyramids in Egypt were found in Saqqara, northwest of Memphis. This magnificent pyramid complex is also called the Giza Necropolis. The size of the Giza Plateau in Greater Cairo, Egypt, includes the Great Pyramid of Giza, the Pyramid of Khafre, and the Pyramid of Menkaure in their associated pyramid complexes. The site also contains the Great Sphinx of Giza. According to historians, all these structures were constructed between 2600s and 2500s BC during the 4th dynasty of the Old Kingdom of Egypt. The Gizan Acropolis contains the ruins of numerous cemeteries and work-in settlements in addition to the pyramids and the Sphinx. The location is along the western desert's edge in the city of Giza, about 9 kilometers west of the River Nile, while it is about 13 kilometers southwest of Cairo's downtown. In 1979, this entire structure and adjacent Memphis were added to the UNESCO World Heritage Site. The Great Pyramid and the Pyramid of Khafre are the two largest pyramids known to have been built in ancient Egypt. They have gained the status of common emblems of ancient Egypt and the Western imagination over the centuries. The Giza pyramid complex gained the world's attention during Hellenistic times. An Antipater of Sidon listed the Great Pyramid as one of the world's 7 wonders. It is the oldest of the ancient wonders that still exist today. Khufu's pyramid complex contains valley temples that are now buried under the village of Nazlat El Saman. Archaeologists have discovered diabase, pavement, and pneumatic limestone walls but have not yet excavated the site. The valley temple was connected to a causeway, most of which was destroyed when the village was constructed. It led to the mortuary temple of Khufu. The basalt pavement is the only remaining sign of this temple. This mortuary temple was also connected to the King's Pyramid, completed in 2560 BC. It has 3 smaller quince pyramids and 3 boat pits. The boat pits contained a ship, and 2 pits on the south side also had intact ships inside them when excavated. One of them was the infamous Khufu ship that has been restored and is now on display in the Grand Egyptian Museum. The Khafre Pyramid Complex consists of a valley temple, a Sphinx temple, a causeway, a mortuary temple, and the King's Pyramid. Numerous statues of Khafre were found inside the valley temple, and many other statues were also discovered under the temple floor by Marriott in 1960. The Khafre pyramids were finished in 2570 BC. It looks larger than the neighboring Khufu pyramid because of its more elevated location and steeper inclination angle, but in reality it is smaller in high-altitude volume. This pyramid retained a prominent display of casing stones at the apex. The Khafre pyramid also consists of a valley temple, a causeway, mortuary temple, and the King's Pyramid. There were many statues in Menkaure's valley temple in the past. A smaller anti-temple was added to the valley temple during the 5th dynasty. The mortuary temple also contained many statues of Menkaure. This pyramid, along with its 3 subsidiary pyramids, was completed in 2510 BC. Menkaure Temple is the only one of the 4 main monuments in the Giza Pyramid complex with no original polished limestone casing intact. The Great Sphinx of Giza dates back to King Khufu. It is a limestone statue of a reclining sphinx facing directly from west to east. It stands on the Giza Plateau on the west bank of the Nile. Its face represents Pharaoh Khufu. According to archaeological evidence, the Great Sphinx was created by ancient Egyptians of the Old Kingdom between 2557 and 2532 BC. Queen Kangkhas I was also buried in Giza. Her tombs were named LG100 and GE8400. It is located in a central area close to the valley of the Temple of Menkaure. The Queen's Pyramid complex also consists of her pyramid, a boat pit, a valley temple, and a pyramid town. Most construction theories regarding the Giza pyramids are based on the idea that these were built by moving enormous stones from a quarry. They were supposedly dragged and lifted into place, but many experts disagree over the feasibility of this method and propose alternative methods by which these stones were moved and placed. Some archaeologists have speculated that the architects back then might have developed their techniques over time. They probably selected a relatively flat part of the bedrock that functioned as a stable foundation. After careful surveys, they laid down the first level of stones and built the pyramids in horizontal levels, one above the other. Almost all of the stone for the Great Pyramid's interior was quarried immediately to the south of the construction site. A fine grade of limestone quarried across the River Nile was used to create the smooth exterior of the pyramid. The blocks forming the exterior had to be carefully cut. They were transported using a river barge and drag up ramps to the construction site. A few exterior blocks are still at the bottom of the Great Pyramid, as most were taken away for building projects in Cairo between the 5th and 15th centuries. To maintain the symmetry of the pyramid, all exterior stones were cut to be equal in height and width. The workers probably marked all the blocks to indicate the angle of the pyramid wall, and then carefully trimmed the surfaces to make these blocks fit together. All 3 sides of the Giza pyramids were astronomically oriented to the north, south, and east-west. According to experts who argue in favor of the Orion correlation theory, an arrangement of pyramids represents the Orion constellation. This fringe theory posits that the 3 largest pyramids of Giza and the Orion's belt of the constellation Orion are correlated. This was done intentionally by the original builders by the Giza pyramid complex. The stars of Orion were often associated with Osiris, the god of rebirth and afterlife in Egyptian mythology. However, Ed Krupp of Griffith Observatory in Los Angeles and Tony Farrell of the University of Cape Town in South Africa independently investigated the claims posed by Robert Bovell, Graham Hancock, Anthony West, and other authors who argued in favor of the Orion correlation theory. Their critical analysis poked holes in this theory mainly based on the less than ideal angle between the alignment of Orion's belt and the north during the era cited by Hancock, Bovell, and other supporters of the Orion correlation theory. Another incredibly far-fetched theory about the construction of the Giza pyramids was shared by Elon Musk back in 2020. He may be the richest man on earth, but some of his controversial opinions and moves have made people consider that he may not be the smartest. Musk, the Tesla CEO and new Twitter owner, irritated Egyptians with a bizarre tweet claiming that the Great Pyramids of Giza were clearly built by aliens. As expected, the tweet went viral and many critics turned against him. The outlandish claim garnered him a lot of criticisms from netizens who were baffled by a man of science and technology propagating such silly conspiracy theories. The International Cooperation Minister of Egypt was hell-bent on not letting aliens take credit for the hard work and efforts of ancient Egyptians who put their sweat and blood into constructing the colossal structures. Rainier Al-Mashat replied to Musk's tweet, which was retweeted almost 84,000 times. She wrote, "I follow your work with a lot of admiration. I invite you and SpaceX to explore the writings about how the pyramids were built and also to check out the tombs of the pyramid builders. Mr. Musk, we are waiting for you." It wasn't clear whether the tech billionaire was serious or just trying to be sarcastic. Still, most archaeologists believe that the tombs of the pyramid construction workers discovered in the 1990s prove that the magnificent structures were built by the ancient Egyptian citizens and not some advanced aliens who landed on Earth in their silvery sources. Zahi Hawass, an Egyptian archaeologist, responded to Elon's tweet by making a short video in Arabic that he posted on social media. In the video, he claimed that Elon Musk's argument was a complete and utter hallucination. He also said, "I found the tombs of the pyramid builders that tell everyone that the builders of the pyramids are Egyptians and they were not slaves." Elon Musk later tweets a link to a BBC history site about the lives of the pyramid construction workers. He also wrote, "This BBC article provided a sensible summary for how it was done. This calmed the horrified Twitter users a little, who realized that this one was just an erratic musing by the quirky billionaire like many of his tweets." The work of quarrying, moving, setting, and sculpting the huge number of stones used to build the pyramids was carried out by several thousand skilled ancient Egyptian workers, unskilled laborers, and support workers. Many bakers, carpenters, water carriers, and people with other necessary skills also contributed to the project. There is wide speculation about the exact number of workers needed to construct such a massive project. On his visit to Giza in 450 BC, the Greek historian Herodotus was informed by the Egyptian priests that the Great Pyramid had taken 400,000 men to build, working in 3-month shifts of 100,000 men at a time. However, evidence from the tomb suggests that a workforce of 10,000 laborers working in 3-month shifts took about 30 years to build a single pyramid outside the large stone wall surrounding the Giza pyramid complex. Mark Lana and his team found a town where the pyramid workers used to live. The town is situated southeast of the Kafr and Menkora complexes. Archaeologists discovered communal sleeping quarters, bakeries, breweries, kitchens, a hospital, and even a cemetery in the workers' village. This town dates back to the 4th dynasty between 2520 and 2472 BC. This was after Khufu's accepted time and the Great Pyramid's completion. According to Lana and the era team, the development of this urban complex must have been quite rapid. All of the construction probably happened in the 30 to 50 years that spanned the reigns of Kafr and Menkora, the builders of the 2nd and 3rd pyramids. The team used pottery shards, seal impressions, and stratigraphy to date the site. From their analysis, the researchers concluded that these were the world's earliest planned urban settlements that securely date to the regions of 2 Giza pyramid builders, Kafr and Menkora. The Great Pyramids of Giza are colossal structures that keep baffling archaeologists and historians with their mysterious secrets and the mind-boggling level of precision found in their construction. These pyramids are not just evidence that the ancient Egyptians were capable of sophisticated construction. In fact, the detailed studies of these pyramids have revealed that the Egyptians of the Old Kingdom were beyond intelligent. They possess a vast pool of knowledge, and they had some amazing tools and unbelievable expertise in the field of engineering. It's hard to imagine how these insanely heavy structures came into being. In-depth analysis of these pyramids have shown that the Egyptians of the Old Kingdom were beyond intelligence. They are not merely proof that the ancient Egyptians were capable of complex construction. They were quite knowledgeable, had some amazing tools, and had incredible engineering abilities. It isn't easy to comprehend how these ridiculously massive constructions came to be. Discovering the types of construction equipment the ancient Egyptians employed has been a goal of archaeologists. After all, it was only feasible to construct these enormous pyramids with the aid of some highly useful, cutting-edge instruments. It's no secret, and the analysis of the pyramids has done more than that to further perplex archaeologists. These buildings' precision and mathematical accuracy are just as futuristic as the tools and building techniques used to construct them. Today, the Egyptian pyramids are undoubtedly among the most popular archaeological sites, but this was only sometimes the case. Some ancient monarchs made valiant attempts to wipe out these great buildings from the face of the world, but fortunately, they were only partially successful. Soon, experts are hopeful that improved technology and more thorough research may allow them to decipher the intricate and elusive mysteries of the Egyptian pyramids. Still, for the time being, they can only be awed by the complexity of the ancient Egyptian civilization. That is our video for today. We hope you like it. Share all of your thoughts with us in the comment section below. Well, that's all for now. This is Big Tech Media. See you again tomorrow. Keep in mind to like, share, and subscribe.